Good afternoon, everyone. It's Tom Sydney Bushnell, aka Numbers, here from Psych.Club, from the Tom Numbers Show. News of Tom Numbers and walks along the sea, or by the sea. So, today is a historic day, or an historic day, I should say. It is June 11th. And people that have been following my work since the beginning, I'm grateful to you, and you know who you are. And those that have come along for the ride as well, so grateful to you guys and girls as well. But June 11th, if we wind the clock back to 2015, I met a very important person in all of this, and that was the beautiful and gorgeous Ivanka Trump. And that was on June 11th, 2015, and I met her in Manhattan. Manhattan is 92, numbers 92, reverse 92. And that was 5 days before her dad Donald and Melania Trump, 143, November 5th, 143, came down the escalators, the golden escalators. And they announced his candidacy for president. And really the numbers started for me from then. But it was a preview, it was a prelude to things to come, because I've mentioned before, but my cousin Paul Bushnell 143, November 5th, 143, the Tesseract 143, Melania Trump 143, Ground Zero 143, Building 7 143. He had just died on the 31st. He passed over on the 31st of May, and then 11 days later I bump into Ivanka in New York, in Manhattan. New York is 111. It's 3 lines, it's 111. Makes me think of 3 buildings. It's perfection, 111. There's other things, but it's 111, perfection, New York. If you do perfection, New York, it's 222, or New York, it's 222, double on that. But his date of birth was January 18th, 118, the storm, the awakening, the matrix. And he passed away. I went out to this fundraiser in America. His autopsy took about a month, so I wasn't sure when the funeral would be, so I continued with my previous plans to go to New York for this fundraiser. I'd actually written to the Trump office inviting President Trump, well, Donald at the time, to come to the fundraiser, because I thought, well, he'll be a generous donor, which we know he is, and it'd be great to meet the Donald. But he wasn't able to, because he was in Scotland that week with Don Jr. and they were cutting the ribbon on one of his golf courses in Scotland. But I got a really lovely, professional, quick response from his office, and then had the event. And then the next night, the day after, I'm in my suit and I bump into Ivanka. She was taller than I thought. She had heels on, but she kind of glided across the road. She just glided kind of past me, and it was really quite surreal and a special moment. And I turned around, I spoke to her security. He had an earpiece in, he's in a suit, a little guy, and I said, "Is that?" And she could hear me, and I asked for a photo, and she said yes. Got the picture, and people have seen that picture. A day or two after that, I went to Statue of Liberty. I met someone that had the same date of birth as my cousin Paul. And then a night or so after that, I met someone going to Staten Island. They had the same date of birth as Paul, 118. Maybe theirs was 119. I think it was 118 though, because that's what they got my thinking of that. But then I met a third one, which was definitely 118. A few weeks later when I returned back to England. And I was like, what's the chances of that? And I figured out that it was Paul talking to me, but I didn't know the alphabetical correlation between words and letters like I do now. That came to me early 2020 when the world went into the events of spring of 2020, which we know what that is. So that's what happened. But then after, Janine and Hona did a reading on that, and I was like, oh wow, kind of some of their information blew me away. I did my numbers on it, and I found that out actually when I was in Manhattan in 2021 again. September 11th actually was the day that I saw their show. Two women going past an Irish pub in Manhattan said, oh Tom, they've got you. So I did the numbers on it, and June 11th, which is today, which was 9 years ago, when I actually met Ivanka, was 141, which comes to Tom Bushnell, which comes to reincarnation, which comes to quantum leap. It was the 162nd day of the year that year because it wasn't a leap year. 162, or day is 30, so day. 30, baby is 130, is 30. AU plus AG, silver and gold and silver is 30. But yeah, if you do day 162, so 30 plus 162, it comes to 192, which comes to Ivanka Marie Trump. Which actually, interesting enough, I've remembered recently that comes to George Trump as well. President Trump's uncle that worked with Nikola Tesla, 119 Redemption, 119 Central Park, 119. There's other meanings of 119, but yeah. And yeah, so 192 also comes to Governor's Island, 192. Steve Bannon and the guy from the Chinese Republic in 2020, I think on Obama's birthday, is it June 4th? It's one of those. I think it's Obama's birthday. They do a basically talk about the millennium, 1,000 years of peace, which I was talking about, but they announced that on the jetty from Governor's Island, 192. 192 is also the Celestial Kingdom, 192, which is the millennium. Some might say it comes at the end of the millennium, but anyway, it's good enough. It's much better than what we're going through now. So yeah, and then to cap it all off, the photograph of me and Ivanka, which a security guy took on my phone. So he took the picture on my phone, and behind is a place called Monaco Plaza. In numbers, that comes to 146, comes to Truth Social, which comes to New Jerusalem, comes to Ivanka Trump, comes to the Best Reset, the Dove Reset. Marie is 46, Dove is 46, Ivanka Marie Trump. Made in Manhattan, I looked at that. I think that comes to 140 Tom numbers, or 141. I think it's 140, which is the Apprentice, which is the Trumps, which is the Quantum, which is the military, which is the currency. So there's a whole bunch of things again. Tesseract Day, Tesseract 110, the Power Day 140, and all those things happened. But it's an anniversary of that 9 years ago. So I wanted to share that, but also I put that on Twitter. You can see it on Twitter. Probably put a link of it here on YouTube in the description below. But there's a song that has come to mind called "What a Wonderful Day." I think it's "What a Beautiful Day." Sorry, by a group called Levelers. Now my brother Joe pointed this out to me. I knew the song. When I heard it, I recognised it. But he said, listen to the lyrics. So I listened to the lyrics, and he's been paying attention to my my comms, my messages about November 5th and the world changing and time travel and all these things. Anyway, the Levelers got the same message. So I'd encourage you to watch it, listen to it, even pull up the lyrics when you can do that, you know, on platforms like iTunes or whatever, yeah, Apple Music, whatever you listen to on, you could probably pull up the lyrics. It's easily accessible, or easily accessible. And they talk about on November the 5th, how the world, how time goes back, it goes back in time. The world goes back in time. I'll remind you, November the 5th is 176, which is Back to the Future. Guy Fawkes Night, 176. Level playing field, 176. President Trump said it. Level playing field. Well, level playing field is 176. Trust the plan. No, that's 174. Real Tom numbers is 176. Guy Fawkes Night, yeah, 176. Quantum Leap, the Quantum Leap, 176. Sorry, that's 174, which is real Donald Trump, 174. Stormy Daniels, 174. Currency exchange, 174. The day after November, the day after November. No, yeah, that's okay. November 5th. Back to the Future, yeah. So this group called Levelers makes me think of when President Trump said a level playing field. Levelers comes to 110, which comes to Tesseract, comes to the President, comes to the Christ, comes to the power, comes to the Hertz, comes to the Quasar, comes to other things. But if you did the Levelers, which they're not called that on Wikipedia, but on Apple Music, the Levelers is 143 November 5th. But they know. I think the song was about 25 years old. They say, basically, time goes back. And then it talks about other things. How you can basically create reality through your mind, your powerful mind. It talks about all the temples being pulled down, and the generals and the ministers going to ground. It's basically, you know, and it says it was done without a sound. So it's done instantly. Makes me think of Rods of God. And then talks about Nasara Jasara. It says the solution is wealth redistribution. That's what we all know about. That's what we've been looking forward to coming. Level playing field, 176. It's all there, people. I'll probably do a full one because when I'm sat down I can go through. There's loads and loads in that song. I'd love to do a show. I've been talking to Ricky Lambert, my footballer friend who's awake. He'd love to come on a podcast and talk to them about it as well. Oh look, I've got the ready brick glow. Can you see that around me? So when I move, you see my light around me. Yes, it's just a lot. Ricky's been listening to the song over and over. I have. My brother Joe found it. It was incredible, amazing. But it was the Levelers who wrote that song. They were getting the same codes. They were getting the same codes. Yeah. They've been talking about a big screen and how the news comes out after midnight. Makes me think of the Vendetta screen in Piccadilly. Piccadilly's 94, which is November. Yeah, everything's there. It's like this field of consciousness is up there. So you can see my glow. Can you see my glow? It's wonderful. Ready brick. But it's there, the truth is there, and if it settles upon you, receive it, put it out there, you can grasp it, it's there, it's there. But it was amazing, because I've probably been the one, I guess, in the community talking the most about November 5th, and how I think it's the day of all days. Not just an election, it's everything that we've been wanting. And then this song comes out. Well, it came out 20, 25 years ago, whenever it was. and it confirms about 6 or 7 of the key things that I've been talking about. So that was nice, that was comforting, that was reassuring and confirming. So I knew it was the case, but to hear that, and it's nice as well, because when I'm talking to other people about it, they've been thinking, oh, Tom just keeps going on about November 5th, and then someone else wrote this song. A group of people wrote a song confirming so many of the important things, you know. And they talk about lighting the bonfire. Yes, what do they say? A bonfire for all time. Light a bonfire for all time. I think that comes to 2, or light a bonfire. Yeah, light a bonfire comes to 217, I believe, which is Houses of Parliament, which is Mission Impossible, and then 4 is 39, which is Angel, which is Big Ben, which is 10. Houses of Parliament has Big Ben next to it, and then 4 all time. So it's like got everything in there. And for all time is eternity, millennium, the golden age, 1,000 years of peace to start off with. So there's all these lyrics were confirming all the codes, and they've been. It's brilliant. I'll do a more in-depth one on it probably the next day or 2. So yeah, anyway, it's getting closer. Just enjoy. I mean, keep doing our work, keep doing the things we need to do, keep strong, keep health frequency good. But nothing can stop what's coming now. We've known that for a while, but it's getting more and more obvious by the day. So anyway, wherever you may be, enjoy. Wherever you may be, enjoy the sea, even from afar. So, alright everyone, much love, God bless, and I'll speak to you soon. And make sure you subscribe, even if you are, double click subscriptions, because, you know, it's still a funny game. Alright everyone, much love, take care.